Hi, so it's storming really heavy outside, so let's talk about fate. There isn't a single normal Grail war, not even once. And it's not even the corruption's fault half the time. The box standard for a Grail war is one we're probably all familiar with our boy Red Tip Shiro and gender bent King Arthur. That's right, it's the 5th Holy Grail War. Now let me tell you what's wrong with all that. Spoilers, but Shiro from the future comes to the current 5th Holy Grail War as a summon to kill his past self with the sole intent of erasing himself from existence. And that's an 1/8 of like all the problems. The reliable church pulled some evil, underhanded tactics against the rules they established. Every girl is a hear me out purely just for their baggage alone. An 8th servant was summoned by another servant, which simply shouldn't happen. Oh, and if that's not confusing or horrible enough, let's sprinkle in a little bit of incestuous SA. You really wish I was joking. And Ilya, what the fuck? But what about the previous ones? Well, the first Grail War wasn't even really a Grail War. They were just kind of screwing around and arguing about like almost whatever, probably politics. But the 3 big families at the time decided to start the whole Grail War thing to see who really won and deserved the whole like magic of like the Grail and whatnot. And so we got to the second war, and oh my gosh, that was a war. In the sense that it was the bloodiest and most disastrous war of all fate, I think. The second Grail War, because rules just weren't established, nor were there any sort of limits, so they just sort of duked it out anywhere and like everywhere. Now considering the fact that a servant is like a mini nuke in a ponytail, it was bad, and many people died. Imagine JJK Shibuya, but 7 Sukunas. It was a really bad war for Assassin. And so the church was like, guys, there need to be rules to this stuff, alright? And we'll regulate them. And so the 3rd Grail War started, and nothing bad happened. The Einsberg family tried to break the rules before they could even be used to summon an illegal servant from an unknown class that just shouldn't exist, and has only one trait, being a whiny baby. Hence he ruined everything by starting the whole corruption thing and the mud. Yep, that's their fault. Oh, and side thing, this happened during World War II, so the Nazis were like, we kind of like really want to get involved, and so they did. And so came the 4th Holy Grail War, which was just Fate Zero. And let's just say, I still haven't recovered. Oh, by the way, the church guy, Gilgamesh, and Artoria were all significant figures during this war, which it might have some significance to do with the 5th Holy Grail War, I guess. Which was set up to be a mistake they made 3 times over, as I explained in the start. Watch Fate Zero, it's really good. Man, I love Fate lore, but if you think this was confusing, I haven't even talked about the alternate timelines where Shiro doesn't have red hair, which is a thing. Alright, that's all. Peace.